directed by Paul Haggis, who also recently got Best Picture. Well, somewhat recent. 2005 got the Best Picture for his movie Crash, and he sort of was a co-writer on the screenplay as well as the director for The Next 3 Days. And it's a movie about a character named John Brennan, played by Russell Crowe, who has a wife who is maybe wrongly accused of murder of her employer and is sent to prison. And it's one of those kind of legal misunderstanding kind of things where they can't clear her because there's so much circumstantial evidence against her. And so he figures that the only way he's going to be able to ever see her again outside of a prison is to break her out. So he starts to hatch a plan, being a high school English teacher?
Yeah, something like that.
He's a high school English teacher, so it's one of those, people who aren't criminals doing crime, and how well can they pull it off, and him starting to get mixed up in the wrong element and things like that. I mean, we've seen that a lot recently with like the show Breaking Bad and some of those kinds of things. So it's sort of that paradigm. And I think that's where we start to run into trouble with this movie, because immediately I don't buy Russell Crowe as being ineffectual as a villain, because I've seen him play villains. Yeah. I've seen him play gladiators. I've seen him play plenty of things where he was very, very capable of taking care of himself. So to see him go and now play a high school English teacher who can't quite take care of himself on the street, I feel like he was maybe a little miscast. I think if a Kevin Spacey or even like an Adrian Brody or something like that was playing that character, I could believe that story a little bit more as him having a hard time kind of being a square and having a hard time taking care of himself and trying to hatch this plan and get away with it. The movie on its own, I think, is fine. I think it's sufficiently entertaining, if not just a little bit unbelievable, sort of like Salt in that way. I had fun with the movie. It kept me entertained all the way through. I was never really bored, but it does border on ridiculous at times. And considering, Haggis is an Oscar winner, I would maybe expect a little bit more out of him. But I think if you're just looking for sort of a mindless thriller, this will keep you entertained. So I gave it a B-.
B-. Well, I like this one a wee bit better than you. Gave this one an A-. Mostly because I almost had an anxiety attack. This thing does a lot of jumping back and forth between what's going on with the police, what's going on with him. And that was just...
It's edited very well.
Very well. But I was on the edge of my seats. I really connected with the Russell Crowe character. I was able to tune him out as a gladiator and
whatever.
I guess I'm good at that or something. So I really connected with him, and just his little plot when he went down. He's all in the underworld trying to find passports and stuff like that. I was just like, yay! I rooted for him and kept thinking he could do different things. I don't know. I kept rooting.
Yeah.
When you root for somebody, then you know the movie's good. But definitely liked it. Olivia Wilde threw this weird cameo in there, and I was like, whoa, Tron girl, nice. So that made me like the movie just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But no, I was on the edge of my seat, loved it. Lots of action, plenty of suspense, way better than that law-abiding citizen crap.
Yeah, actually, it reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah, I alluded.
I was reminded of Law-Abiding Citizen, but I think it's a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
And the last half of it plays a little bit more like The Fugitive.
Yeah, definitely a lot less just crazy guy going to...
Yeah, it's a little more procedural. It's a little bit more like, him planning things, and you get to see him sort of working on things and stuff like that. So it does have that element of it to keep you entertained, to keep you interested. Is he going to pull it off?
Yeah.
Rather than how is this guy pulling it off?
Yeah, is this guy? Lots of question. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, so gave it an A-. Excellent renter. Definitely would be an enjoyable evening for anybody.
Yeah, it's a good Friday night kind of popcorn movie. Did you have a problem with the fact... I thought it had about 15 minutes at the end that could have been lopped off.
Really? No.
I felt like there was
Maybe
a climax and then the movie kept going.
Maybe because I was more in one of those, I don't know, maybe it's because of the high state of anxiety. If it had ended earlier, I would have been, probably would have had lower blood pressure the rest of the evening. But no, I really enjoyed where there's a really critical stopping point, and then it goes back into the climax. I was like, could have ended there, but then it goes back, and that part I like that part quite a bit.
Cool.
So.
Cool.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next rental movie, Morning Glory with Rachel McAdams.